E3 conferences are done, so I thought I'd give my quick thoughts on all of them. Some were good, some were bad. Let's begin. EA was alright, I suppose. The opening had a drumline, which was lovely, I guess, though everyone wore Patriots jerseys. Boo! They started with a Madden trailer featuring the Longshot story mode, which is compelling, I guess, but not enough for me to take a look at. I do give props for starring Mahershala Ali though. Then they showcased Battlefield 1's In the Name of the Tsar DLC. Nice, but I'm not a fan of Battlefield 1 to be honest. Then they talked FIFA. Whatever. Jesse Wellens of Prank vs. Prank was there to introduce Need for Speed Payback. Interesting choice for a host. The game was exciting for sure with a very Fast and Furious inspired chase, and I might consider playing this. The only game that really got my attention was A Way Out, made by the team behind Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. For what I've seen, it's a co-op prison escape game which encourages local multiplayer. On the couch as they quoted. I still haven't played Brothers, but this is promising. Next was NBA Live. Don't care. Next. But of course, they saved their best for last, which was Star Wars Battlefront 2. They did an elongated skirmish between Federalist battle droids versus the Clone Army, with Darth Maul, Rey, and Han Solo in the mix. Darth Maul and Rey look amazing, and this game is exciting. Maybe I'll try this out. Overall, I give EA a C-. It was nice I suppose, but I need more games. Microsoft started theirs with a bang with Project Scorpio, now called Xbox One X. It was their most powerful console, as they said, but that won't matter to me if there aren't any killer apps to invest me. So they showcased Forza 7, along with a sweet 911 Porsche. Nice! The game looks stunning, but racing sims like Forza don't intrigue me, but good on them! Then came Metro Exodus, and I'm psyched because the Metro series is a really underlooked FPS series, in my opinion, and Exodus has promise. Up next was Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's definitely Ass Creed, but in ancient Egypt. Honestly, I'm kinda burned out on them given their track record. It looks fascinating, and you got an eagle to help scope out areas. PlayerUnknown's Battleground showed itself, and I'm not into this game, but it's great they're on the E3 show floor. Then some trailers came like Deep Rock Galactic, State of Decay 2, and Project Darwin. Minecraft was up and they got a super duper graphics pack, good for Minecraft players, and I'm still not one of them. Yet. Dragon Ball Z's got a new fighter with Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which looks like DBZ with Guilty Gear-like graphics and 3v3 fighting. Then more trailers like Black Desert, a high-bid game called The Last Night, The Artful Escape with a guitar-toting hero, and Code Vein, which looked like anime Dark Souls. Then came Sea of Thieves. It looks cool with sea and cave exploration and fighting other pirates, but I'm still not quite sold. More trailers again, starting with what initially looked like Conker, but it was Super Lucky's Tale, and it looked like a generic 3D platformer, but I'm glad to see a game of this genre given the gaming climate. Then Cuphead arrived, and it finally has a release date, and I can't wait to get it. Crackdown 3 was next, with Terry Crews hyping everyone, and I certainly am too. After that was a cavalcade of trailers for all to enjoy. More trailers again, starting with Ashen with an interesting art style. Life is Strange is back with what seems to be a prequel, but I have yet to play the first. Middle Earth returned with Shadow of War, with new ideas for its nemesis system like recruiting orcs to your army and taking down strongholds. Then came a teaser for Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a sequel to one of my favorite Metroidvania games. And Microsoft talked about the overwhelming response to backwards compatibility of the Xbox One with 360 games, but then dropped a bombshell, if I can call it that, by announcing that original Xbox games will also be backwards compatible. Now that, I might consider buying an Xbox One now, or at least save up for the One X given its $500 price tag. The show closed with a gameplay trailer to BioWare's newest IP, Anthem. From the looks of it, it's an open world sci-fi action game with some multiplayer, and color me impressed. I can't wait to try that one soon. With all that said, Microsoft gets a B from me. Xbox One, you might just have another player coming in. Bethesda, however, or Bethesda Direct as some call it, left a lot to be desired. The whole show was mostly done by visuals and a sound that showcases the conference as a theme park. They first began with 2 VR games, Doom VFR, I'm assuming it's virtual fucking reality, and Fallout 4 VR, and they look promising. Now I just need to sell an organ for a VR setup. Then they talked about Elder Scrolls Online with their expansion to Morrowind. Don't really care about ESO, and I'm sure not many did either. The Creation Club was up next, which was all about mods and possibly paid mods? I don't know, I don't do mods myself, but not many are thrilled from what they saw. Then came Elder Scrolls Legends, their online card game with a Skyrim expansion. Not a fan of card games, so no thanks. Then came Skyrim for Nintendo Switch, which we all saw coming, but the most captivating part was when they used a Link amiibo, and then a chest popped up, the main character wore Link's clothes and wielded his Master Sword. That alone sold me. I hope there will be more amiibo support. Oh, there was also motion controls. Okay. Then came a Dishonored 2 DLC entitled Death of the Outsider, which seems alright, but I still need to finish Dishonored 2. Then he talked about Quake Champions, about how they want to bring it back into the esports limelight, and talked about the upcoming QuakeCon in Dallas, my hometown. Nothing new to showcase as far as I can tell. Then came the last 2 games they showcased, starting with a very prolonged CG trailer that was for a horror game. And after a couple of seconds of actual gameplay, if you can see it, it was for The Evil Within 2. I still need to play the first, so I'm not quite hyped. Then came the big one that got me salivating. Wolfenstein 2, The Big Colosso. It showed a very Nazi German influenced America as Nazis still rule the world, and BJ Blazkowicz is still fighting Nazis and fighting rebels, equipped with a power armor. If you remember from its recent entry, BJ's now pregnant girlfriend Anya still fights, and there was a psychedelic lizard of all things that showed up. And that was it. Yeah, the show lasted for at least 35 minutes and it just ends. That was a weak conference, if I could call it that. I give it a D. Only invested in 1 game and that's not good. Try again, Bethesda. Ubisoft was next, with a brand new spiffy logo. Rabbids was up first to introduce Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. But first, the man himself, Shigeru Miyamoto, arrived. Head of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, and Miyamoto even did an epic pose. After some talking, we finally get to see the game in action, and it's a turn-based tactical game, basically Mario XCOM. It looks nice, but I'm not holding my breath since tactical games aren't my forte. Assassin's Creed Origins is next with a trailer showcasing ancient Egypt, which is nice I guess. Then what seemed to be Inception with racing turns out to be for The Crew 2. I never played The Crew, but it looks like it has expanded beyond race cars and now has motorboats, planes, and off-roading. That's good for racing gamers. South Park Fractured But Whole is up next, and no Matt Stone or Trey Parker, but that's alright. I still anticipate for its October release. Then came a trailer featuring Elijah Wood of all people as a creative director. What could he be up to? It is Transference, which seemed to be some sort of VR game. Not many details, so it's hard to tell what the game's about. Pirates is up next with Skull and Bones. Apparently, Assassin's Creed Black Flag's naval combat has become its own game, and I like what I witnessed. I'll see you in the high seas soon. Then comes the obligatory Just Dance, complete with Sub-Zero dancers, pop dancers, and artist Bebe Rexha. Don't know who she is, but it's Just Dance, so I'll let this harmless thing go. South Park came back with a mobile game called Phone Destroyer. Cool, though I'm not a huge mobile game player, but it's cool. Next came a space combat game called Starlink Battle for Atlas, with customizable spacecraft you can attach to your controller. Seems like Ubisoft's answer to Skylanders, maybe LEGO Dimensions. Steep is next with an expansion just in time for the 2018 Winter Olympics. Alrighty then, Far Cry 5 was next, and as expected, it's Far Cry, but in Montana. Looks like you got NPC allies, including a dog companion, and this game certainly has my attention, but we'll see what happens next year. The last trailer was something I completely didn't expect, but I had a hunch what it could be the minute I saw a Pigman. When I saw it, I had no idea what it could be. But then, Beyond Good and Evil 2! Yes! 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 Sorry, I know I shouldn't be gushing, but it's a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil, a game that was criminally underlooked over 10 years ago. Sure, it was just a trailer, but the fact that a sequel is in the works makes me all the happier. For that, I give Ubisoft a B+. I may be biased because of Beyond Good and Evil 2, but I'm happy with the conference. PlayStation started with Egyptian musicians, obviously introducing Assassin's Creed Origins, which I won't deny, the waterfall show is cool though. That is until I was proven wrong when it was really for Uncharted: The Lost Journey. I'm kinda stoked because Uncharted 4 ended on a high note, but okay. Then snow started to fall on the stage and Guerrilla Games' logo came up, which signaled that it was a new adventure for Horizon Zero Dawn. And it was! The Frozen Worlds DLC. Next up was Days Gone, and it looked great, like an episode of The Walking Dead. But then, Zombie Bear! I admit, I'm impressed. The next game featured a man with a buster sword in some fantasy world, but I think I have an idea what it is. And I was right, it's Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World to be exact, coming out next year. Still need to play one. Then came Shadow of the Colossus. Again, which seems to be another remaster. I won't deny, it looks beautiful, but a second remastering? Is something like that necessary? Oh wait, never mind. Then a trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite appeared, and it's most definitely hype. Then it was Call of Duty's turn with World War II in the spotlight. Just seeing these clips brings me back 15 years, at the peak of World War II games. Will I buy it? Not day one for sure. And now PSVR, starting with Skyrim VR. Yep, it's Skyrim VR alright. Then a bunch of VR games including FF15 Fishing. Okay then. That's until a familiar pale fellow showed up, which means God of War time. And Kratos is wrecking all sorts of Norse mythology into oblivion. And he must contend with trolls, Jormungand, and I'm guessing the Fenris wolf. I can't wait for early next year. Then a man with a blue circle on his head shows up, which means Detroit Become Human is next. This time, it shows the story of a rogue android with a mission to free his android kin. Knowing it's a David Cage game and I did like Indigo Prophecy and Heavy Rain, I'm in. Next is from Bungie, meaning Destiny time. Destiny 2 that is. Never bought into the hype back then, but I'm probably still not with this one. But hopefully I'm wrong. Final trailer and it's Spider-Man! From the looks of it, Spider-Man does Batman Arkham style gameplay, both in stealth and action. Then we get web-swinging action, which brings me back to the old Spider-Man 2 game of the previous generations, and that's a wonderful thing. Most of it looks a bit too CG to be actual gameplay, but if it can play like this, then I'm sold! Also, Miles Morales cameo, for those who know the comics. With that end, I give Sony a B-. It wasn't as breathtaking as it was last year, but I'd say it was a good showcase. Nintendo Spotlight is last to enter the fray. They first did a trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it looks exciting. Still need to play the first Xeno games. Then they announced a new Kirby game for next year, which showed a new power-up, and power-ups in tandem with each other for exciting combos. Awesome! Then a teaser for Metroid Prime 4! Finally! A new Metroid game, and from the Prime series no less! A new Yoshi trailer came, and it was a Woolly Yoshi title. But the world seemed to be paper-inspired, complete with cardboard backgrounds, coming next year. I'm fine with that. Team Koei Tecmo has a new game, and it was Fire Emblem, which meant it had to be Fire Emblem Warriors. Warriors games are definitely guilty pleasures, so I don't mind. Then came Breath of the Wild DLC, and they looked a lot of fun, though I'm still in the middle of trying to get my second Divine Beast. Yes, I'm that far behind. Then Rocket League did their thing by announcing their game coming to the Switch, and that's awesome because they deserve it. Finally came Super Mario Odyssey! I'm so excited for it! Mario has some interchangeable costumes, but also has the ability to possess certain enemies. And the best part, it's coming near the end of October! Oh, so many great games coming in October already! Or as some of us call it, Broke-tober. And that was the Nintendo Spotlight, and I'm kind of bummed that was it, but I remembered it was a Nintendo Direct-like showcase. In the end, I give Nintendo a B, despite its obviously short presentation. Most of the games I've seen has excited me for sure, but I wish there was a bit more. That is until they release a crap ton of other trailers afterwards. So to sum up, the winners are Ubisoft, Microsoft, and Nintendo. EA and Bethesda are the losers. Sony, I say is more in the middle. Either way, I can't wait for what's coming out this year.